If you're ever live streaming on Twitch, YouTube, or wherever, and you find that your game footage looks really washed out while playing, well, we're going to take your footage looking from this to this with just 2 simple steps in OBS Studio. So usually when you bring your footage into OBS, it will kind of look like this, and it looks fine, but it does look a little flat. There's not a lot of contrast, the saturation's fine, but it feels just a little washed out. It doesn't really stand out or pop in the same way that you're probably seeing on your monitor or your TV when you're playing a game. What you can do is very, very simply add some filters to your footage to really make it stand out. And let's take a look at them right now. On the source of your game capture, whether that is a capture card or desktop capture, or whatever it might be, you're going to right click and go to filters. And you're going to see that I've already added 2 filters here. One of them is color correction, one of them is sharpen. Now, when I add the color correction, what you're going to see it does is it really makes that image pop and go from this kind of flat image to this very vibrant, saturated, pleasant to look at image. And all I've done is added the filter from here, added a color correction filter. I've dropped the gamma so that it's not as bright, but I don't want to adjust the brightness. If I do that, it really starts to make things look washed out and you just don't have as much control. The next thing I did was I adjusted the contrast, and I've gone up to 0.3, which is pretty high. You could actually take this down to 0.2 and it'd be totally fine. And lastly is the saturation at 0.15, and I've just increased that a little bit. So if we look at it before and after, it really does make a drastic difference to the quality of the image that you're seeing. The last thing I did was add another filter, which is just called Sharpen down here. And I leave that at its base settings. I don't actually change anything. You don't need to do a lot with this. Otherwise, you'll start getting weird artifacts on edges. But if I pause the game so we can see the text here, and I'm going to turn this off and on. And hopefully that comes through. But you see it just makes text just that little bit sharper, just that little bit easier to read. It's a very subtle amount, but it does make a difference. And it helps just bring some of those details out and make it look a lot crispier. And that's it. That's all you need to do in order to make your footage pop in OBS for any of your live streams, is just add these 2 effect filters and you're done. If you found this video useful, please hit like or subscribe. I'm also going to put some other videos I've made to help improve the quality of your streams here on the screen. Feel free to check those out, and I'll see you in the next one.